I discovered these magical reading glasses. So when I put them on, you can see what I see. So the first story that we should look into is Sleepy Hollow.
I found a pair of glasses shining bright. I slipped them on. What a sight! A world of wonder coming to me. Magic reading glasses set stories free. Some magic reading glasses come with me. Inside the stories that set us free. Every tale is a secret key, unlocking worlds of mystery. Hey, good side. They whisper tales from long ago of heroes brave and stars that glow. Magic reading glasses.
Long, long ago, along the dark and mysterious roads leading to the town called Sleepy Hollow, a young dashing gentleman was excited to begin his position as the new headmaster of the local school. This was his first post away from his home in England, and he was eager to make a name for himself and earn a respected place in the world, just as his father had done. He arrived with an open mind and a heart full of grand dreams. As fall descended upon Sleepy Hollow, the town was bustling with harvest activities and preparing for the annual festival. He had arrived just in time to join the fun. This was his first time in a foreign land, and he was excited to experience the new customs and traditions of a true American fall, all completely unfamiliar to him. Meanwhile, the town was abuzz with gossip about the arrival of the new school headmaster. The previous one had vanished mysteriously, and the story still hung in the air. The townsfolk had heard the new teacher was highly educated and hailed all the way from England. All the girls in town were especially excited for the arrival of this intriguing new figure.
Oh, I can barely focus on these apples. Have you heard the news? The headmaster will be arriving anytime now. Imagine a new teacher. And from England. Do you think he looks like the prince we see in the shop? Tall, perhaps? With a noble smile? Maybe he is a prince.
Tall or not, I hope he can read this time. Last headmaster couldn't even read his own notes. But more importantly, is he married or single? That's the real question. I wonder if he is bringing his wife with him. I am so bored with the men in this town. I crave for someone with a more interesting background.
Alice, you are always talking about boys. Single or married, that doesn't matter much if he's already older. The last headmaster could be my grandpa. I pray this one is younger. And who knows why the last one left. They say the school ground is haunted by the Hessian soldier who lost his head in the Revolutionary War, and we cannot keep headmasters because they are all scared away.
I don't care much about the legend. It is just a story they made up to scare the kids. But I am more concerned about his voice. Do you think he speaks like those actors in the traveling Shakespearean plays? Smooth and British. If he says, "Good day, miss," in a British accent, I might just faint on the spot.
I'll bet he's at least 30, Ruth. He is very educated. I heard he went to an ancient fancy school. A man needs to have a proper education to secure a teaching position. And being from England means he should have some money to travel here. Enough to buy a decent farm, not just rent a room. I wonder if he comes from a rich family. That's what I want to know.
Alice, all you think about are boring things. Money is not very interesting, but does he have any magic? All those foreign countries have ancient secrets. Maybe he has a charm against the curse of this town. Or maybe he's been sent here because he knows magic to finally solve the mystery of the previous master who vanished.
Magic? Eliza, please. I just hope he is not married. If he is married, that would spoil the romance completely.
If he's a widower, he's probably sad and needy. If he's already married, well, we can stop talking and get back to work. But if he is truly single, I would love to visit England and get out of this town.
Then we'll know soon enough. I heard he's staying at the Van Tassel farm tonight. Katrina will have all the answers by morning. You know she'll get a close look before any of us do. I wonder if Brahm is going to ask her to the festival again. He is too handsome to waste pining after her. What does he see in her anyway?
Eliza, everyone knows Brahm has eyes only for her. He has grown up working on their farm, and he is like a second son to her parents. It is too bad he is so handsome and Katrina doesn't see it. All the girls would love to take her place in his eyes.
Brahm eventually will see that Katrina takes him for granted and will find someone else who cherishes him more. And if that happens, I will be ready.
I thought you were going to see if the new headmaster is single.
I will actually start studying hard now if he has an amazing accent. I won't miss class anymore.
I am not betrothed to anyone. I can fancy whoever I want. Brahm is indeed the most handsome guy in town. We will have to see if the new headmaster can compete with that face.
Hush, guys. Brahm is coming here. How's my hair?
Eliza, you look fine. I love how strong he looks. He looks absolutely dashing.
I do wish he would see other girls besides Katrina. We are all great options for him. He does look so handsome when he takes care of horses and works in the fields. He is so dreamy.
Hello, ladies. How are you this fine autumn day?
Brahm, do you need me to fetch some water for you?
Brahm, come sit down for a while so we can cool you off.
Are you headed over to the Van Tassel farm later? I heard the new schoolmaster is arriving.
Oh, thank you, Eliza. I would love some water. Thank you, Alice. But I better get going. Ruth, is it today? I better rush over there to help them with the new guest in case Katrina needs anything from me.
Here is some water, Brahm.
Much appreciated, Eliza. I hope you ladies have a lovely day.
There he goes, the most handsome bachelor in all the land.
Let's see how the new headmaster measures up.
What do you think of Jacob, Alice? I heard he has been calling you a lot recently.
We will see. Until Brahm marries someone, I won't consider Jacob for now. I do wish Katrina would make up her mind about Brahm and put us all out of our misery.
Hello there, Mr. Crane. I am Mr. John Van Tassel. This is my farm, and I am one of the selectmen for managing this town. You answered my ad for the headmaster school position. Welcome to America. I trust your trip was safe?
Yes, sir. It was absolutely fascinating. The journey was long, but every bit of it was worthwhile. I am most excited to be here.
Well, we're mighty glad to have you, young man. I hear you're from Oxford?
Yes, sir. I left home to pursue my studies there when I was 20, after helping my mother with some of the family trades for a few years. I studied literature at Oxford and later joined Lincoln's Inn to train as a barrister. My father always believed that a man ought to seek his own destiny, and he often spoke of the opportunities waiting across the ocean. He told me that America rewards those with courage and conviction. So I resolved to test myself, to see if I might build something from nothing, as he once did.
Where is your father from?
My father was originally from Connecticut, and he wished for me to know the land of his youth. When he recently journeyed here, I came with him. My hope is to make him proud, to repeat the success he found when he first sailed to Liverpool and began his life anew. After 6 years devoted to the study of law, I came to realize that I was not meant to be buried beneath contracts and statutes, nor confined within the cold, echoing halls of British courthouses. I began to long for something freer, a life where thought and imagination might breathe. So I turned instead to teaching literature, hoping to awaken not only young minds, but also my own sense of purpose and discovery. Independence and the art of carving one's own destiny is a virtue my father instilled deeply in me. Yet I confess, I have often felt that the rigid order of British institutions may not have been fashioned for my temperament.
Well, I must say that's quite a story, Mr. Crane. We're delighted you've chosen this post. You'll find Sleepy Hollow a quiet place, but full of honest folk. Now then, let me have my carriage ready, and I'll take you to see the schoolhouse. It's just adjacent to my estate, not far from here. I'm the man you'll come to for any help or needs you may have. You're welcome to rest in our guest room this evening, and for a few days if need be, until we can prepare your lodgings at the schoolmaster's cottage. We're still tidying up after the previous headmaster, so it may take a short while. Why don't you wash up, then join us for supper? After your visit to the schoolhouse, my daughter will show you around the house and the grounds. Welcome to Sleepy Hollow, Mr. Crane, and to America. We hope you find both to your liking.
Though I am unfamiliar with American law, I remain well equipped to assist in the more practical matters of language, proofreading contracts, letters, or any document where a careful eye for grammar or spelling might be of service. Should you ever require such help, sir, I would be most glad to offer it. And may I say, I am deeply grateful for the warmth with which you have welcomed me.
And yes, I would gladly take you up on your offer, Mr. Crane. My old eyes aren't quite what they used to be, and I've always been a farmer at heart. Words and papers have never been my strong suit. Having a man of learning like yourself nearby will be a blessing. It will ease my mind to know I have someone who can make sense of those contracts I'm bound to honor. I thank you, young man. Oh, and by the way, there is my daughter, Katrina. Come, let me introduce you. Katrina, this is Mr. Ichabod Crane, our new schoolmaster. She'll be happy to show you to your room and help you get settled before supper. She's about your age, though a few years younger, just turned 21 this year. Our daughter has a fine head on her shoulders. She aspires to become a schoolmaster herself someday. She's quite the lover of books. I imagine the two of you will have plenty to discuss.
Hello, Mr. Crane. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I've heard you're from Oxford. That sounds so historic and fantastic.
Please call me Ichabod. Yes, indeed. Oxford is an extraordinary place, and I was most fortunate to spend several years there.
Tell me, what is Oxford like? I've never left Sleepy Hollow. I often wonder what the world is like beyond our hills.
Ah, Oxford. Architecture bathed in golden grey stone that seems to glow beneath the sun. The buildings rise grandly in the Gothic style, adorned with gargoyles and stained glass windows that catch the light like jewels. The walkways pass beneath great arched entrances that open into quiet courtyards, places made for reflection or for the gentle sharing of ideas. Roses climb against ancient walls, and gardens bloom where scholars gather to debate, to dream, or to whisper secrets. The cobbled paths echo with the footsteps of generations, each student leaving behind a fragment of thought, a trace of wonder. And the doors. Some are great slabs of oak with iron knockers, polished smooth by centuries of eager hands. The very air feels alive with the weight of knowledge and history.
It sounds like something from a storybook. I can almost see it.
In many ways, Miss Van Tassel, it is a storybook, one written by time itself. But I suspect that Sleepy Hollow, too, holds its own kind of timeless history, perhaps.
Please call me Katrina.
Katrina.
Ichabod. I like that name. Let me show you to your room so you can rest. I will see you at supper.
Their eyes meet, an unspoken understanding, a quiet spark of curiosity, warmth and connection.
Come, Mr. Crane. I mean, Ichabod. Let me show you the grounds before supper.
Of course, it would be my honor, Miss Van Tassel.
Katrina, remember?
Yes, Katrina.
They walk through the garden path. The evening sun stretches long over the fields, painting the orchards in gold. The scent of hay and autumn lingers in the air. They went down a winding path through the orchard. The low sun gilds the pumpkins and the tips of the trees in amber light. A faint scent of cider and earth lingers.
These are my father's prized pumpkins. We grow them every year for the harvest festival. Some of them are nearly as big as barrels, you'll see. And look over there, that tree. This old oak tree used to hold all my childhood solitude memories.
You had a treehouse?
Yes. Look up there. See the tiny treehouse my father built for me with his bare hands?
That's wonderful.
Yes. I used to hide up there to read books. I love the dark stories of Edgar Allan Poe. I like a good scare. It thrills me. My father said I would fall right into a story one day.
Then I must thank that tree for raising such a spirited scholar.
I also believe that connecting with the land teaches you more about feelings and life than any book, though I do love a good escape into one. When I was little, I used to play hide and seek with my friends among these trees. They could never catch me. I knew every trunk and root by heart. In the summer, I'd chase fish in the stream with bare feet, and in the evenings, I'd chase fireflies until the stars came out. Sometimes even bunnies, though they were far too quick for me. I suppose I've always been chasing something. I don't stay still, except for books.
Ah, then that's where you and I collide. Books. You chase the world, and I chase the words that try to explain it. Perhaps between the two of us, we'll catch something worth keeping.
What did you play as a child, Ichabod?
In England, my childhood was different. Our games were often within walls of stone and rules of conduct. We were taught to be contained, restrained, and controlled. We had to measure every step and every word. Your companions were animals and trees and nature itself. This is your classroom. It is remarkable. My companions were books, chessboards, and wooden blocks. We were expected to sit still, to think before we laughed, to read before we ran. I built castles from words instead of stone, and my adventures lived between pages rather than beneath the sun.
If you teach me words, I'll teach you how to play in the woods, Ichabod. Do you want to learn how to play hide and seek? I promise I won't cheat.
You just confessed to knowing every tree by heart. How is that fair? But if you're the one teaching, then yes. I think I'd very much like to learn. Something about you makes me feel like a child again. I haven't felt this free since I was 3.
And something about you makes me feel like a princess. Maybe it's that British accent of yours. When you speak, it's like I've wandered into a fairy tale with a prince.
You will make me blush, Katrina. I've never in my life been referred to as a prince before.
Well, perhaps that's because England should be less selfish and stop keeping all its princes to itself.
Among the laughter in the distance, a strong, broad-shouldered man approaches leading a horse. His presence carries confidence and familiarity.
Good evening there, Katrina. Out for a stroll? Do you need anything from me? How's your guest?
Oh, Brom. This is Mr. Ichabod Crane, our new schoolmaster. He just arrived from England. Ichabod, this is my friend, Brom Van Brunt.
A pleasure to meet you, sir.
Likewise. England, you say? That's quite a long travel from here. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. I know this land well and can help you get settled in.
Indeed, a long journey, but a welcome one. I already feel very much at ease here. Thank you for your kind offer, Mr. Van Brunt. I may well take you up on that someday.
Brom, I am going to show Ichabod the stables and stream before supper. Do you care to join us for supper?
Thank you, Katrina, but I have to tend to the horses. Another time, of course.
His grin slowly fades as he adjusts the reins in his hands. The leather creaks softly, his knuckles whitening as his fingers tighten into a fist. A dull ache settles in his chest, the pain of saying no to her, though every part of him had wanted to join. He didn't wish to impose, he never did. But how could he stand by and watch her walk away with another man?
The stream?
He thinks bitterly.
Our stream? The one where we played as children?
He pats his horse's neck, the gesture half comfort, half distraction, and turns toward the barn. Yet unease sits heavy on his shoulders. The image of Katrina's laughter, the way her eyes lit up at Ichabod's words. It all burns behind his eyelids. He breathes deeply, forcing calm into his chest. Brom said to himself quietly,
It's only a short while. He'll be out of her hair soon enough. I'll help him settle in. The sooner he's moved into the schoolhouse, the better.
Welcome to our home, Mr. Crane. I do hope you like pumpkin pie. It's a family favorite. We are so glad you were able to travel safely here. We never had a foreign guest in our home before, especially not one from Oxford. We are so honored to have you. Enjoy the meal, Mr. Crane.
Madam, I'd be hard-pressed to find a finer welcome. This home is filled with such warmth and love. I'm truly fortunate to share in it tonight.
Did Katrina show you around? Was she an adequate tour guide?
Yes, indeed she was. The tour was lovely. You have a beautiful estate and remarkable home here. I am awed by all you have accomplished together as a family.
We're glad to hear that. Tomorrow morning we'll show you the schoolhouse. It's just beyond the orchard. We ran short on time today.
Of course, that sounds wonderful. I confess, the journey's left me a touch tired, but your hospitality has made me feel quite at home already.
The clinking of glasses and soft laughter fill the air as outside. The crickets hum in the quiet valley of Sleepy Hollow. All cheered raises their glasses to new beginnings. Next morning, Katrina and her father John accompanied Mr. Ichabod Crane to the schoolhouse.
Good morning, Ichabod. How did you sleep?
Very well, though I confess I'm still a bit weary from travel, but I can hardly wait to see the schoolhouse.
There she is, the pride of our little valley. And speaking of local pride, there's a legend tied to this place. They say our town was named after a Hessian soldier, a headless horseman, who lost his head to a cannonball during the Battle of White Plains. His ghost is said to ride through the hollow at night, searching for it still. Aye, just a bit of American folklore. Come autumn, the wind howls through these woods, and folks swear it's the horseman himself. Don't let it trouble you. The children love to whisper those tales, especially when the pumpkins start to ripen.
Fascinating. I'll remember that, sir.
Good. The last schoolmaster left in a hurry for family matters. His daughter fell ill, poor man. But the local gossips say the horseman spirited him away. Pay no mind to such nonsense. Now, once you're settled, you must join us for the Harvest Festival before your first day. Katrina can show you around.
Lanterns glow. The air hums with music, laughter, and the smell of cider. Ichabod and Katrina walk together through the fairgrounds, laughing softly. Nearby, Ruth, Eliza, and Alice exchange glances and whisper,
Have you seen him? The new headmaster? He's positively charming.
And look, Katrina's with him. Of course she is. Her father's wealth always brings fortune her way.
Just wait. By morning, the whole town will be talking about him.
Indeed, the rumour spread quickly. Within a week, word of the handsome new Oxford schoolmaster had reached every household in Sleepy Hollow. By the next morning, half the town was buzzing. Bakers, farmers' wives, and even the miller's daughters whispering of his charm, his polished manners, and his curious British accent. Many of the young women, single and otherwise, suddenly discovered an urgent desire to continue their education. By week's end, nearly every eligible lady in the valley had signed up to attend his class. The schoolhouse, still being prepared for his arrival, was surrounded each day by curious onlookers. They came with baskets of apples, questions about literature, and more than a few hopeful smiles.
Did you see him?
One woman asked another at the market, her voice low but eager.
I heard he studied law in England.
And plays the violin.
Oxford, imagine that. Oxford. In our little town, a man with that level of education.
I heard he plays the piano.
Another chimed in from behind a basket of apples.
No, he fences. Sword fighting, they call it.
Well, I heard he can shoot a gun straight as any soldier.
I heard he is rich and single.
The women laughed, their voices blending with the sounds of clucking hens and wagon wheels over cobblestones. Each tale grew taller than the last, until Ichabod Crane had become half scholar, half knight, and entirely the talk of Sleepy Hollow. By dusk, the entire market knew his name. By morning, the whole town was enchanted by a man most had not even met. Later that evening, under the pale harvest moon, Brom stands with Jacob near the fence by the road.
You hear the others talking? Some of them swear they saw the Hessian last night, riding near the old bridge.
Aye, I heard. Just wind and shadows, I'd wager.
Still, it's strange. And now with this Ichabod fellow here, everything feels different. I can't help worrying about Alice. I care for her truly, but she seems rather taken by him already.
If you're worried about Alice, then perhaps I should worry about Katrina.
Oh, come now. Everyone knows Katrina and you are meant to be. She just needs time to see it.
They share a quiet moment, both men trying to sound confident, but failing to hide the unease in their voices. And as they parted ways beneath the rustling trees, both felt a heaviness neither could name. a quiet sense that something had begun to stir in Sleepy Hollow as the winds of autumn whispered through the valley once more. For the next several days, as the townsfolk busied themselves preparing the schoolhouse for its new master, Katrina spent nearly every waking hour with Ichabod. She showed him every corner of Sleepy Hollow, the orchards, the winding paths, the old stone bridge, and the stream that shimmered like glass beneath the sun. She taught him how to play hide-and-seek among the trees, how to catch fish by the stream with bare feet, and how to listen for the whisper of wind through the cattails. He, in turn, read to her from well-loved books and shared verses of poetry that had once echoed through the halls of Oxford. Sometimes they would lie together in the grass, reading aloud and letting their thoughts drift like clouds above them. In those moments, the rest of the world seemed to vanish. It felt as though time itself had paused, a spell of golden stillness, where only the two of them existed. It was a dream neither wanted to end. A perfect, fleeting moment when duty and worry ceased to matter, when the heart was free and the soul unburdened. For Ichabod, it was a revelation. He had never known such liberation, such warmth, such effortless joy. The rigid rules that had once defined his life seemed to dissolve in her presence. Days flowed together like one endless sunlit dream. He found himself thinking of her constantly, her laughter, her untamed hair, her voice calling across the stream. He could not sleep without her image in his mind, nor wake without longing for her company. To him she was life itself, wild, radiant, and real. How wonderful it is, he thought, to be alive in this time, in this place, with this person. Perhaps this was love. For Katrina the feeling was equally new and bewildering. This intelligent, mysterious man, so unlike anyone she had ever met, saw wonder in the simplest things she did. Her laughter, her stories, her world all seemed to enchant him. And for the first time in her life, she felt truly seen, truly cherished. She was drawn to him more each day, intrigued by his gentleness and the way he seemed both enchanted and humbled by her spirit. Yet questions began to stir quietly in her heart. Is Ichabod the one meant for me? Is he here to stay? She longed to see the world he spoke of, the castles, the secret gardens, the cobbled roads, the bustling cities. She could almost imagine herself beside him, sailing across the sea. Yet with every dream came doubt. What of Papa and Mama? What of the only life I've ever known? And somewhere in the back of her mind, another name lingered. Brom. That night, neither of them could sleep. They lay awake in their separate rooms, the moonlight slipping through the windows like a secret they both shared. Their minds raced, thoughts spinning a million miles an hour, tangled between hope and fear. Each was terrified by the depth of what they felt, and of what it might mean for the future. Yet neither could let go of this strange magnetic pull that bound them together. It was a feeling that defied reason, as if something ancient and unseen had woven their fates long before they met. It was the place where fear met bliss, where the heart trembled not from doubt, but from the overwhelming wonder of being truly alive. The afternoon sun filters softly through the lace curtains of the Van Tassel home. The scent of baked bread and drying herbs lingers in the air. A knock sounds at the door. Mrs. Van Tassel opens the door to find Brom standing on the porch, his boots dusty from the road. He holds Katrina's favorite fruits.
Afternoon, ma'am. I, brought these for Miss Katrina. Thought she might fancy some apples from the South Orchard. Is she here by chance?
How thoughtful of you. She'll be delighted. But I'm afraid you've just missed her, dear. She's out showing Mr. Crane around town. You know how Katrina loves to play hostess.
Brom's heart sank, disappointment quickly masked with a polite smile. He hesitates, shifting his hands.
I know. I'd hoped to catch her for a walk this evening. No matter. Perhaps another day. I wanted to see the pumpkin patch with her. Truth is, Mrs. Van Tassel, I've been thinking it's time I take on more responsibility, earn a steadier wage on the farm. I wish to be the sort of man who can offer something real, solid, maybe even enough to one day support a family. I am 25 now, not a boy any longer. There's more I might do, more I might give. I would labor from dawn till dusk if it meant proving myself worthy of her, of Miss Katrina. But lately, she looks at him like she's seeing the whole world for the first time. I'm scared. She'll never look at me that way.
Oh, Brahm, every girl has a moment where she is swept up in something new and exciting. It is part of growing up. But in time, she will see what's true and lasting. She will remember who has been steady in her life all along. You are the rock in her life, Brahm. Don't forget that.
Thank you, ma'am. I reckon I just needed to hear that. Still, it's hard not to feel scared like I'm losing the most important thing in my life.
The heart always aches a little before it learns what it truly wants. Give her time. I was just like her before. I didn't see her father until the storm that year. And he took care of me. And I finally saw him. She is my daughter. I know she will see you too. You are very much like her father when he was young, ambitious, hard-working, and a true gem.
You've been kind, ma'am. Thank you. I'll see myself out.
He leaves, the sound of his boots fading down the path. Mrs. Van Tassel watches him go, her face touched with sadness. She saw his bowed head and dejected body. She saw the pain she once caused her husband before she saw him as the love of her life. She saw the vision of her husband 20-some years ago. She closes the door softly, then turns toward the parlor, where her husband, John Van Tassel, sits reading by the window.
John, are you concerned that Katrina's been spending so much time with Mr. Crane lately?
Do you remember how long it took you to notice me? I was there for years before you decided to see me properly. These things take time. Let the children enjoy their youth. Those fleeting days when the world still feels simple and safe.
But what if she makes the wrong choice? What if she chases a dream and misses her chance at lasting happiness?
I trust our daughter's judgment. If her heart leads her to England, I'll be the first to get on a ship across the ocean to visit our grandchildren.
And what about Brahm? He sees her with the same eyes you used to see me with.
Brahm is like a son to me. Whether or not he marries Katrina, he'll still have a place here. I mean to leave him a fair share of the estate. He's a good lad and deserves a good life. Every girl in this town adores him. He just doesn't see it. He only sees our Katrina. If she chooses Ichabod, then Brahm will need to find the strength to move on.
Had it not been for that storm, I might never have truly seen you. What if that's her story too? What if she doesn't recognize the man meant for her until it's too late?
God has a way of working things out, because the storm did happen, and you did see me. We must trust her heart, as we trusted ours. She'll find her way, just as we did, and perhaps when the time comes, we'll see things as she sees them. The heart wants what the heart wants. Ichabod is a fine young man, and Katrina is lucky to have two good men care for her. That's no tragedy. It's life unfolding.
Still, I ache for Brahm. He works so hard and he loves her so purely. I wish I could spare him this pain. Watching him grow up and how he treats her over the years. I am truly touched by that boy's devotion.
Give Katrina time. Let her learn her own heart. Only then will she truly understand love.
They sat in loving silence, content in the comfort of one another, as the last light faded from the fields outside, the soft hum of crickets rising with the dusk. Their love had withstood the test of time. It had endured the year when the crops were spoiled by blight, and the year when winter refused to end. Through every trial, they had faced hardship side by side, and in doing so had forged a bond of trust and deep appreciation for one another. Now, in the peace of twilight, both wished the same for their daughter, that she might one day know a love as steadfast and enduring as theirs. Above all, they wanted her to have the best life the world could offer. Somewhere beyond the orchard, laughter drifted faintly on the wind, Katrina and Ichabod still lost in their own world. At last, the long-awaited day arrived, the opening of the new school in Sleepy Hollow. The morning sun poured through the freshly cleaned windows, glinting off polished desks and rows of eager faces. The townsfolk gathered outside, proud and curious to welcome their new schoolmaster from across the sea. Ichabod stood before the class, calm and composed, his voice measured and kind. The young ladies in the room watched him with wide eyes, whispering behind their slates, hanging on every word of his accent and every thoughtful glance. Laughter filled the room, light and nervous, as the lessons began. Yet, amidst the chatter and the rustle of papers, Ichabod's eyes sought only one face. Katrina sat near the window, the sunlight dancing through her hair. Each time their gazes met, the noise of the room seemed to fade. There was a quiet current between them, something secret, electric, and impossible to hide. They exchanged fleeting glances across the rows of pupils, their eyes meeting for only a breath before duty pulled them apart again. No one else seemed to notice, but to Ichabod, the whole day passed in a dream. Every smile, every word from her lips, every small stolen look set his heart to racing. Though the entire hollow now sang his praises, and every young woman vied for his attention, his heart had already chosen. It belonged, wholly and without question, to Katrina Van Tassel.
Hello there. I am your new headmaster, Ichabod Crane. I have graciously accepted this position, and thank you for welcoming me. I hope to bring my Oxford education to this small, sleepy town and introduce you to great literature and worlds you can only imagine. We will begin by reading the British author Jane Austen's most famous work, Pride and Prejudice. To prepare for a vocabulary quiz next Friday, please read through the first 5 chapters of Pride and Prejudice. You will be introduced to the Bennet family and the arrival of the wealthy gentleman, Mr. Charles Bingley, who has rented an estate at Netherfield Park. You will also get to know the older Bennet sisters well, Jane and Elizabeth, as well as Mr. Darcy, with whom you will become very familiar as you read the book. I dare say, here I offer a subtle warning. A great many women who have read about Mr. Darcy in these pages have found themselves quite hopelessly in love with a fictional character. Mr. Darcy possesses so many qualities that we all hope to strive for. I will be hosting office hours for those who are struggling with the vocabulary upon request. To ensure you receive the utmost attention, I can only tutor one person at a time. Please sign up for your time slot after class. I am pleased to be here, and perhaps you are curious about my path. I grew up near Liverpool, attended the hallowed halls of Oxford, and found myself on the continent. My father, a merchant from Connecticut, brought me back across the sea, and after applying in many distant towns, fate, or perhaps some darker impulse, brought me to you. My family remains across the water. 3 sisters and a dear mother still residing in Liverpool. My father met my mother while trading, and thus I find myself a creature of 2 worlds. I believe in destiny not as a fixed route, but as an ever-shifting possibility. I believe in the freedom of forging a life, no matter where one's journey begins. Austen is merely the beginning. We will soon delve into the shadows and satire of Charles Dickens, William Thackeray, Mary Shelley, Sir Walter Scott, Charlotte Bronte, and Thomas Hardy. Books, you see, are the keys that can set a mind free and fling open the door to the unknown. And to the young women among you, I believe you must become whatever you wish. Education is not merely a path to marriage, it is the true ownership of the self. You can aspire to be the head of a town or own property, you must first master your own educated mind. I am eager to begin this voyage of self-discovery with you. Now, shall we turn the first page? Do you have any questions for me before we get started?
Just like that, life in Sleepy Hollow was never quite the same again. Each week, Mr. Crane gathered his pupils in the little schoolhouse and filled the air with words few in the valley had ever heard spoken aloud. He taught vocabulary, verse, and passages from the great British works, the kind of stories that stirred hearts and painted dreams of faraway places. Before long, the entire town found itself enchanted. Ichabod read of Mr. Darcy and Miss Elizabeth Bennet, and soon every young woman in Sleepy Hollow imagined herself the heroine of some English romance. The classroom air seemed to shimmer with poetry and longing, and more than one maiden sighed at the sound of rain upon the windowsill, lost in daydreams, in love with a fictional gentleman, or perhaps with the one who read his words aloud. A strange nostalgia settled over the valley. This new American village suddenly homesick for a motherland most had never seen. They dreamed of candlelit manors and emerald hills, of London fog and love letters sealed with wax. And at the centre of it all stood Ichabod Crane, the man who brought that distant world to life. Every girl in town was captivated, some by Mr. Darcy, and many perhaps by the charming young schoolmaster himself. It was as though a quiet spell had been cast over Sleepy Hollow, a gentle storm that had drifted in all the way from England. The men of Sleepy Hollow watched helplessly as every woman in town fell under the British spell. Their wives spoke in softer tones, their daughters sighed over novels, and even the widows lingered longer at the schoolhouse window, eager to catch a glimpse of the foreign scholar with his polished manners and distant eyes. There was laughter where there had once been quiet, and an air of restlessness that no one could quite explain. The women of Sleepy Hollow were bewitched, and the men could do nothing but watch as the tide of England swept through their valley.
Good day, class. I trust you all had a productive week, wrestling with the first 5 chapters of Jane Austen's masterpiece. We are not just reading a novel, we are deciphering the subtle codes of social interaction in 19th century England. To truly understand the Bennet family and their wealthy new neighbour, Mr. Bingley, we must first master the vocabulary that defines their world. Next Friday's quiz will cover the following terms. Note that many of these words describe character and manner, the very foundation of polite society. Caprice is a noun. It means a sudden and unaccountable change of mood or behaviour, a whim. Circumspection is a noun. It means the quality of being wary and unwilling to take risks. Caution, prudence. Deign is a verb. It means to do something that one considers beneath one's dignity, to condescend. Ostentation is a noun. It means a pretentious or showy display intended to impress others. Supercilious is an adjective. It means behaving or looking as though one thinks one is superior to others. Arrogant. Felicity is a noun. It means intense happiness. Bliss. Entreaty is a noun. It is an earnest or humble request. Pedantic is an adjective. It means excessively concerned with minor details and rules, or with displaying academic learning. Complacence is a noun. It means the willingness to please others, agreeable nature. Effusion is a noun. It means an unrestrained or heartfelt expression of feeling. Impute is a verb. It means to attribute something, usually undesirable to a personal cause. Rapture is noun. It means a feeling of intense pleasure or joy. Censure is noun. It means harsh criticism or disapproval. Ductility is a noun. It means the quality of being easily molded or influenced, similar to pliability. Superciliousness is a noun. It means the state of being disdainfully arrogant or haughty. Mortified is an adjective. It means feeling embarrassed, shamed, or humiliated. Fortnight is a noun. It means a period of 2 weeks, 14 nights. Now, please construct a sentence using each word to describe situations or emotional circumstances to demonstrate your full understanding of the words. Please write them down and study them. We will be sharing your sentences next class period. Remember, these words are not merely obstacles on a quiz. They are the keys to unlocking the subtleties of character and plot that make Pride and Prejudice endure. Any final questions before we are done with class today?
I have a question. Do you want us to write 1 or 2 sentences per word?
You are welcome to practice as many sentences as you please, but I require you do minimum of 1 sentence per word, so I know that you have a clear understanding of the context.
Can I sign up for your office hours tomorrow? I have a few questions I would like to get help on.
Of course you may, Katrina. I look forward to studying the words with you. All right, class, is that all your questions? I will see you all bright and early tomorrow.
I also want to attend office hours after Katrina or before her. Whatever works better for you.
That sounds perfectly fine. I will see you also tomorrow, Alice.
I read more chapters than most people in class, so I can stay ahead of everyone. I would love to get advanced guidance on the new vocabulary.
Well, that sounds absolutely fantastic. I love enthusiasm with reading. I am excited to see where you are in the book and discuss with you further.
Actually, I already finished the book. I needed office hours because there are so many words I didn't know.
That is wonderful. I am so happy to see how motivated everyone is about reading. That makes my job fulfilling and exciting. I look forward to seeing you both tomorrow after school during office hours.
In the late hours of the night, Ichabod sat alone at his writing desk, the faint glow of candlelight casting long shadows across the walls. The village lay silent, and the only sound was the scratch of his pen and the soft ticking of the clock upon the mantel. He wrote to his sister Margaret, not because he expected immediate reply, but because he needed to confide in someone about the new and fascinating presence that had so utterly unsettled his peace. It had become increasingly difficult to act indifferent before his pupils, for the smallest glance or word could give rise to whispers that spread through Sleepy Hollow like wildflowers in bloom. Outwardly, he maintained composure, the proper English schoolmaster. Inwardly, he was consumed. He had taken to holding office hours each afternoon, ostensibly for academic purposes, but in truth for the single selfish reason of being alone with Katrina Van Tassel. That 1 hour had become his daily salvation. Now that he was settled in his modest schoolmaster's residence, the separation from the Van Tassel estate was more keenly felt than he had expected. He missed the splendid days when he could see her freely, from breakfast to supper, when her laughter filled the house and her presence was as constant as the sun. In his solitude, he often found himself sitting before the dying candle, recalling the warmth of her nearness, the brush of her hand when they read together, the spark in her eyes as she grasped some poetic truth. He could almost feel her presence in the air about him. He had noticed Miss Alice Martin vying for his attention as well, and to remain above suspicion, he extended to her the same courtesy he offered Katrina. Yet his heart was not deceived. It belonged wholly to one. Katrina had become his sun and his moon, the axis upon which his quiet world now turned. For her part, Katrina found every excuse to linger near him. She would stay after lessons, bring him tea, or claim to need help with her reading. She even missed Sunday chapel under the pretense of study, though it was clear that the true subject of her devotion was Ichabod himself. She loved the gentleness of his voice when he spoke, the way his gaze softened when he looked upon her, and the vastness of knowledge that seemed to flow so naturally from him. And so, as the hour deepened into silence, Ichabod took up his pen, his only companion that night, and began his letter to Margaret.
My dearest Margaret, it warms my heart to put pen to paper and send these words across the sea to you, our dear mother, and my younger sisters, Lucy and Rose. How fare you all in Liverpool? I often recall the sunlight spilling through our windows, the soft sound of your laughter in the halls, and the fragrance of mother's rose garden after the rain. I remember too the beautiful patterns you used to sew, each stitch a reflection of your patient spirit. America is a strange and wondrous land, filled with wild woods, wide skies, and an air of mystery that both thrills and humbles me. Each dawn seems to whisper promise, though I confess I sometimes miss the familiar fog over the Mersey and the tolling of the cathedral bells. My new position as headmaster of the village school has thus far been most agreeable, yet has proven both challenging and deeply rewarding. The students are bright and eager, and I find true satisfaction in watching their minds unfold. I have made several new acquaintances here, most notably Miss Katrina Van Tassel, the daughter of a prosperous farmer, and Miss Alice Martin, both young ladies of uncommon spirit and fondness for books. You would delight in their enthusiasm for the works of Miss Jane Austen. Pride and Prejudice has captured their hearts entirely, and Mr. Darcy has become quite the talk of the Hollow. Though I am far from home, my sense of purpose deepens with each passing day. The people here are kind, if a little superstitious, and the land holds a quiet beauty all its own. Still, I miss you all dearly, and the memory of England grows dearer to me with every American dawn. Pray, write soon, dear sister, and tell me how our mother fares, and whether Lucy has yet completed her studies, and if Rose still insists on feeding the neighbourhood cats. Such small details of home would warm me more than any fire. With the fondest affection and abiding love, your devoted brother, Ichabod.
Each morning, as Brom set out for town, he found some small excuse to pass by the Van Tassel estate, a loose hinge to mend, a parcel to deliver, a horse to check. The truth, known only to himself, was that he hoped for a mere glimpse of Katrina. Sometimes he saw her tending to the garden, sometimes laughing with the maids, but most days she was gone before he arrived, off to the schoolhouse where Ichabod Crane now spent his hours. This afternoon, however, fortune seemed to smile upon him. As he turned the bend near the orchard, there she was, walking briskly along the lane towards the school.
Katrina, I didn't see you at the chapel last Sunday. Is everything okay? How are you? I hand-picked some of your favorite fruits and left them with your mother. We had an amazing harvest this year. Our town will be fine during the winter. When you have time later, do you want to go see the pumpkin patch with me? You used to love that. And I did pick up some wildflowers you like on my way here. I hope you like them, and they brighten up your day.
Why, thank you, Brom. You always seem to find beauty wherever you go. I have been busy with my studies. When I do find the time, I would love to visit the pumpkin patch with you.
Not everywhere, Miss Katrina. Just where beauty walks. You best be on your way then. Wouldn't do for the new schoolmaster to think you've gone astray. When you are ready to visit the pumpkin patch, I will be here. I will always wait for you.
Brom rubbed the back of his neck, grinning despite himself. There was still a flicker of hope, the faint belief that she had not forgotten him. For a moment they stood together in that tender space only childhood friends can share, filled with the warmth of familiarity and the unspoken tension of hearts that dare not cross the threshold of love. Then she glanced toward the road leading to the schoolhouse, and Brom's smile faltered ever so slightly. He knew who waited at the end of that path. He knew, too, that her heart was no longer wholly her own. He straightened his shoulders and gave her a polite nod, forcing a hint of cheer into his voice. She laughed softly and started down the lane, the wild flower he had given her pressed lightly against her chest. Brom watched until she vanished from sight, the sunlight fading through the trees. Then he turned his horse towards town, his chest heavy with the ache of unfulfilled love, a love steady as the earth beneath his feet, and just as silent.
I've swung the hammer since dawn's first yawn, raised barns and fences, fields well drawn. My sweat and bone built this town plank by plank, while Ichabod, refined, gentlemanly, and frank, he reads from books of foreign lands. Yet I know my own heart. I know my own hands. Katrina laughs at his alluring tongue, a sweet melody I've known since I was young. We fished those streams when we were small, chased clouds till the amber fall. We skimmed stones, stole apples from the tree, laughing gleefully and free. She was always the wild half of me. Now she listens close when he starts to speak. His polished ways, his manners are sleek. Yet I'm the one who built this ground. I can hear the lost horse's sound. My calloused hands are meant to build her a home, the only future my heart has yearned and known. Still, she looks right through my loving gaze, completely lost and dazzled by his handsome face. I bite my tongue and bow my head. Let patience guard the words unsaid. For love like mine won't twist or break. It waits and learns what time will take. I know he is smart, Mr. Ichabod Crane, the chap all the girls think about in the rain, but I can keep her happy, safe, and warm. I know how to fix things. Even in the storm, I see our life together that her heart can't see. The quiet home, the children on my knee. Her face is the last light to softly calm my room, the final thought before my dreams consume. Her face is the first warm thought in my waking hours, and her existence is sweeter than all the flowers. I see her features softly, gently revealed, as if drifting in the clouds while I work in the field. Someday her heart will turn and know roots run deeper than they now show. That charm can fade like autumn's hue, but steady hands stay strong and true. Till then, I'll work, as I have always done, through rain and dusk, through moon and sun. She is my dream, my constant, my life. I hope someday she'll be my true loving wife. For no one else could fill that place. No other girl wears her tender face. We've shared our youth, our dreams, our days. I fell for her eyes, her kindness and grace. And when her heart's grown still and clear, she'll see. With me, her home was always here. A love that runs deeper than deep. A promise of forever I am willing to keep.
My dearest brother, your letter arrived at last and filled our home with delight. Mother wept tears of happiness upon hearing that you are prospering in your new position. She misses you dearly, as do we all, yet she insists your independence would make Father most proud. Mother continues as well as can be expected, though the sea air has done her good this summer. Father writes that his final trading voyage will soon be complete, and he intends to retire permanently to Liverpool. He has hopes of opening a small shop by the docks, a modest business, but one that will keep him nearer to home and free from the hazards of the sea. As the weather grows colder, Mother's cough has worsened. We keep her indoors as much as possible to spare her from the damp air and the allergies that so often trouble her. She misses the sea breeze dearly, and often speaks longingly of the days when she and Father would travel together in their youth, recalling the adventures they once shared. Now both of them look forward to a quieter life by the shore, content to retire in peace once we are all married and settled. Do tell me more of this Miss Katrina and Miss Alice. I am positively intrigued. You have never once written the name of any young lady to me, and now two appear at once. I sense there is a story hidden between your careful lines. Do not pretend otherwise. I know you too well. I strongly suspect you are in love with one of them, if not both. You are blessed with Father's dashing good looks, so I should not be surprised if you are over there in America turning heads and breaking hearts. I must hear all about them, dear brother. Remember, I am your sister. There is nothing you can hide from me. Lucy has grown into quite the young lady, forever daydreaming of soldiers and grand balls. She spends much of her time in the company of our neighbour Clara. Do you remember her? She was but 14 when you left for Oxford 6 years ago, the same age as Lucy. Now both are 20, nearly women grown, and speaking often of marriage. Can you believe it? Rose, meanwhile, remains entirely herself. Her obsession with cats has only worsened. She insists upon feeding every stray in the neighbourhood, and now leads a small army of them straight to our doorstep. With Lucy and Clara aiding her mischief, we have no fewer than 6 cats taking up permanent residence by the door. And you know how Mother sneezes. Truly, brother, you must find it in your heart to return home at once and put a stop to this madness. Only you have ever been able to reason with them. I also have news of my own. I'm soon to be married. Yes, at the age of 24 and 20, I feared I might turn into a spinster if I waited any longer. My betrothed is Sir Andrew Pembroke, an esteemed gentleman of kind manner and considerable fortune. I met him quite by accident whilst touring a country estate, which, as it happened, belonged to him. He was dressed so plainly that I took him for a butler and mischievously asked him for biscuits simply to delay my visit and have a word with him. Imagine my embarrassment when I discovered his true identity. He laughed and confessed that he often disguises himself to see how visitors behave when they think him poor. I called him absurd, and perhaps he is, but I find him charming nonetheless. Sir Andrew possesses an immense estate just outside of town and has spoken of founding a new school here in Liverpool, for which he seeks a capable headmaster. He insists the salary will far exceed what is offered abroad, and of course, I thought of you immediately. Can you believe my fortune, dear brother? I dare say I have inherited a touch of your adventurous spirit, venturing beyond the familiar and finding, quite unexpectedly, a husband in the process. Joking aside, we miss you terribly and long for the day you will return to us. Until then, write often, for your letters bring warmth to our hearth and laughter to our hearts. With all my love, your affectionate sister, Margaret.
My dearest Margaret, your last letter reached me in good time, and your words brought both comfort and laughter to these long American evenings. I am overjoyed to hear of your engagement to Sir Andrew Pembroke. How splendid! You must tell me everything of his manor and the grand house you shall soon make your own. Pray give my affection to Mother and Father. The thought of Father's return to Liverpool fills me with relief and longing. As for me, dear sister, I fear my heart has become entangled in ways I scarcely understand. You asked after Miss Katrina Van Tassel and Miss Alice Martin, 2 young ladies of exceptional wit and spirit. I must confess, however, that it is Miss Katrina who has captured my thoughts entirely. There is in her a wildness that I find both fascinating and humbling, an energy untamed by convention. She is unlike any woman I have known in England, free-spirited, bold of speech, yet with a tenderness that disarms me. In her presence, the world seems brighter. Her laughter still echoes in my mind long after she has gone. And yet, with this affection comes unease. I often lie awake at night, uncertain of what the future holds. The wind here moans through the trees like a living thing, and the old timbers of this house creak with every gust. At times I fancy I hear scratching at the window, or footsteps upon the stairs, though reason tells me it is only the wind and my own solitude playing tricks upon me. Still, it is a lonely sound, and I sometimes wonder if the place itself wishes to speak. The people here are oddly preoccupied with their legends. The tale of a Hessian soldier who lost his head in battle and rides still through the hollow, searching for it. They claim the schoolhouse stands above his unmarked grave. I do not credit such superstition, yet I cannot deny that it casts a shadow over my thoughts. I have never been one for ghosts or goblins, but I confess I would not wish to raise a family in a place where the very air hums with tales of the dead. And therein lies my conflict, Margaret. I long to be near Mother as she grows older, to offer comfort and companionship in her twilight years. Yet the thought of leaving Miss Van Tassel behind pains me more than I dare admit. I have even considered asking if she might one day accompany me to England, to see Liverpool, to know our family, perhaps to make a home there. But I fear how such a suggestion might sound to a young woman so deeply rooted in this land. Yet her parents are growing older too, and I would hate to strip her away from them. The very thought feels selfish, though the longing in me is strong. She belongs to this valley as surely as the wind belongs to its hills, and I am torn between what I desire and what I know to be right. There is something almost magical that draws us together, perhaps born of our differences. At times it feels as though we stand upon the edge of 2 worlds, hers and mine, and I, a mere visitor, hold only temporary residence in this strange valley. The nights grow colder now, and with them comes a peculiar unease. The wind howls like a restless spirit about the eaves, and there are nights when I could swear I hear a faint scratching at the window, as though something unseen wished to be let in. I cannot tell if it is my imagination, or some ill-tempered creature of the wood, but it unsettles me all the same. It is little wonder, then, that so many of my predecessors abandoned their posts. Perhaps the loneliness of this place is enough to turn any man's courage to trembling. And yet, each morning when I wake and recall that I shall see Katrina's face, all such disquiet vanishes. Her presence drives away the gloom. She is warmth itself amidst the chill. I sometimes think she has cast a spell upon me, for I am utterly bound to her by something deeper than reason. Father, as you know, built his life around Mother's happiness. He chose to remain where her heart belonged. I suppose I must do the same if love should truly take hold here. Still, I cannot shake the feeling that I stand upon the edge of 2 worlds. One of quiet, English reason, the other of wild American passion. For now, I find my solace in her company. Each day that I see her is a day redeemed from loneliness. She is warmth against the cold, sunlight through this ghostly mist. Whatever the future may bring, she has awakened something within me that I thought didn't exist. Pray write soon, dear sister, and tell me more of home. I miss you all more deeply than I can express. With love and abiding affection, your devoted brother, Ichabod.
Ichabod resolved at last to unburden his heart. He could no longer endure the silence that weighed upon him, nor the torment of wondering how she felt. He would confess his true feelings to Katrina Van Tassel, and let honesty bring what peace it might. Perhaps she could decide for them both, for he had grown too weak to tear himself from the power that bound him to her. It was not reason that held him, it was love, wild, consuming, and wholly ungovernable. He needed to know if she felt the same, and what future, if any, lay before them. For if there was no path to salvation for this love, he longed at least to be free of it, for the deeper he fell, the more painful the thought of parting became. The nights in the schoolhouse had grown colder and stranger, and the loneliness pressed upon him like a living thing. Each creak of the timbers and whisper of wind seemed to urge him to act, to seek some clarity, some promise of tomorrow. If not for her, he knew he would already be bound for England by now. But it was she, her laughter, her warmth, her presence, that held him fast to this haunted hollow and made him dream of a life beyond reason. The late afternoon light slanted through the schoolhouse windows, painting long gold lines across the wooden floor. The last of the pupils had gone, their laughter fading down the lane until all that remained was the hush of the empty room. Ichabod sat at his desk, his hands resting uselessly on a stack of papers he could no longer read. When the door creaked open, he knew without looking who stood there. When Katrina entered, as she often did, Ichabod found himself frozen in place, paralyzed by fear, yet driven by the ache of all he had kept unspoken. His heart pounded so violently he feared she might hear it. As she stepped closer, her presence seemed to fill the room, and he could no longer restrain himself. He reached for her hand. The moment their fingers touched, a shiver ran through him, an electric jolt that left him breathless. In that instant, he understood the true power of the bond that had grown between them.
I am deeply and utterly in love with you. I am trembling with fear of losing you. You know that, do you not, Katrina? But I feel as though this place does not welcome me. You are the only thing that holds me here. My heart is torn. I do not know what you hope our future holds, but I must know where you feel you belong.
Our hearts are not different, Ichabod. Mine is torn as well. I long to go on adventures with you, to see the world, to make a life by your side. But I also feel bound to this place, to my family, to all I have ever known. It pains me to imagine ever losing you. You have completely overtaken my thoughts, my dreams, and yet, it is not fair to you that I do not yet know what I want.
Ichabod's heart ached, with both hope and despair. Gently, he leaned closer and kissed her. It was a soft, trembling kiss, a kiss both blissful and painful, fulfilling yet shadowed by the fear that it might never be repeated. It was the answer to all the longing that had consumed them both. For a fleeting moment the world fell away. The wind, the darkness, none of it existed. There was only them. It was their moment, and deep within, both feared it might be their only one. They clung to a love whose future neither could clearly see, a fragile flame flickering against the gathering dark. When Ichabod finally drew back, his eyes searched hers, desperate for certainty. From his coat, he withdrew a folded sheet of parchment, the poem he had written in her honor, and pressed it into her hands.
Please take this and consider it. Do you wish me to stay as your husband, or would you come with me to England as my wife? I must know how you see our future, Katrina. I must know if you see one at all. I must know if we have a future. Katrina, my love. Read this, Katrina, please, and decide what your heart truly desires. I must know how to move forward, Katrina, whether to stay or to let go. If I stay, then we must find another path, for I cannot remain within these walls. I cannot endure the days without you by my side. I could seek another position, somewhere, anywhere, if only you would come with me. Right now, you are the only thing that matters to me. You are my sun and my moon, but if you will not have me, then I must go. I cannot remain as we are, hiding what we feel, pretending our love is not real. We must find a way to be together, or I must move on, for the nights have grown unbearable. I long for the freedom to love you openly, without fear, without shadows.
Katrina nodded, her eyes glistening though she said nothing. Ichabod led her to his horse and helped her mount. The air was heavy with silence as they rode together beneath the pale glow of the moon. He held her close as they galloped down the familiar path she walked each day, once a path of anticipation and wonder, now burdened with the dread that their love could not last. They both felt it, the weight of an uncertain future, and the ache of a world where they could not fully belong to each other. Katrina's heart thudded with confusion. Something unseen held her back, a tether she could not name nor cut loose. When they reached her family's gate, she slipped down from the saddle and turned to him, her hand lingering against his for a heartbeat before she fled into the quiet of the house. Inside, with trembling hands, she opened the letter he had given her, her breath unsteady as her eyes met the words he had poured from his soul.
Since the first day I arrived, your spirit caught my eye. A sudden spark beneath this sleepy sky. You breathed a life so vivid, so rare. A wind of passion through this stagnant air. Your intensity humbled me more and more, and opened a heart I thought was closed before. I come from halls of rules and rhyme, of polished speech and measured time. But around you, walls bow and bend. All boundaries and order meets its end. Your laughter so bright, untamed and sweet. Chaos dances beneath your feet. Your hair flows free to wind's delight, a pleasing blaze in morning light. I envy the rain upon your cheek, the touch of drops I dare not seek. Your gaze upon me makes me feel there is nothing I can hope to conceal. When you are near, my pulse betrays the calm I wore in scholars' ways. You fill me with restless dreams of love uncharted, bold, supreme. Each glance, each word ignites my chest and puts my aching heart to rest. At night I lie awake, amazed and dazed by every smile your eyes have raised. Your touch, an arrow through my spine, a shock both tender and divine. Perhaps this is what love must be, a trembling blend of joy and plea. I have long hid behind my books, but you unveiled me with your looks. I feel drunk, gazing in your eyes, my heart unguarded, in surprise. My thoughts return like falling rain, longing for when I'll see you again. If this be love, then let it stay. I ask no dawn to chase it away. For when I think of you, I find a loving heart and hopeful mind. You make the world seem endlessly vast, whispered dreams that outshine the past. You showed me fields of pumpkin and spice, of autumn harvest, warm and nice. I long to show you distant lands where castles rise from silver sands. Through mist and moor, through song and sea, I long to share England's treasures with thee. I want to take you to the old castles in Britain, where kings and knights' brave tales are written, to open your horizon and let you see the boundless world that waits with me, of all the places that we could be. My heart still hopes you will choose me. I'd trade places with that pen in your hand, to feel your touch and to understand. Perhaps my travels led me here, to find your fire and hold it near. For in your eyes I've come to see the very home that waits for me.
Ichabod watched her vanish behind the great door, then turned his horse toward the bridge and the lonely road that led to his schoolhouse, a place that now felt more prison than home. The night air grew colder, the mist thick upon the ground. His thoughts circled endlessly, each one a thorn of doubt and pain. He felt trapped, not by the hollow itself, but by his own heart, by the truth he had confessed, and the fear that he had gone too far. As his horse crossed the bridge, a sudden sound broke the stillness, the sharp, echoing rhythm of another set of hooves behind him. Closer, louder. He turned, his breath catching in his throat. There, emerging from the fog, was a great bloody horse, its mane black, its eyes burning like holes with gold jewels on its head. There sat a figure, with a pumpkin head carved and glowing, the mockery of a human face. The sight was both magnificent and terrible. Ichabod's heart thundered, not from terror alone, but from something deeper, a sorrow, a realization. Perhaps this was no spectre at all, but his own despair given form. Perhaps his mind, desperate for escape, had conjured this apparition to justify the longing that tore at him, to give him reason to flee the hollow and the pain that awaited him. And suddenly his fear left him. Only sorrow remained. Whether the phantom before him was real or born of his anguish no longer mattered. Its presence was a revelation, a cruel mercy. It showed him, with perfect clarity, that this was not his life to keep. He understood in that moment that even love as consuming as his could not conquer what fate heavens had already decided. Katrina might never choose him. The wound of that truth opened deep within him, a wound that would never heal. He rode on through the dark, the echo of the ghostly hooves behind him fading into the distance, leaving only the hollow ache of a man who had glimpsed both heaven and despair, and could no longer tell which was which. That night, long after the house had gone still, Katrina crept softly into her parents' room. The moonlight spilled through the curtains in pale ribbons, touching the quilts with silver. Her mother stirred as the bed shifted, blinking sleepily, as her daughter slipped beneath the covers beside her. It was the first time Katrina had sought her mother's bed since she was 5 years old. For a while she said nothing, listening instead to the steady rhythm of her mother's breathing and the whisper of wind against the windows. Then, in a small voice, she spoke.
Will you tell me how you met Father? I need to know. I want to understand how you knew he was the one.
When I was young, I too felt distracted by men who made me feel suddenly seen, who made my heart race with the thrill of being noticed. And all the while, your father worked quietly in the background, tending to the sheep, mending fences, helping neighbors when they were in need. I grew up with him, but never once looked at him as anything more than a friend. Then one year, there came a great storm. The river swelled above its banks and flooded all the roads. My friends and I were caught on the far side of the stream, unable to cross. The water ran high, nearly to a man's knee, and cold enough to chill the bones. Your father saw our plight and came wading through the current. Without a word, he carried each of my 3 friends across one by one so that they would not spoil their dresses or catch cold. When it came my turn, I protested. He looked exhausted, and I told him I could walk through the water myself. He shook his head and said, I carried all of them for the chance to carry you. Your father has never been a man of many words, but that was the moment I truly saw him. His actions spoke where words could not. He was willing to do 4 times the work for a single chance to be near me. You must look at what a man does, my dear, not only what he says. Look at his actions. Look at the quiet ways he shows devotion. If you do that, the answer will become clear. You will know who will treat you like a princess every day of the year. Perhaps you are fortunate and both men would treat you kindly. But then you must ask yourself, where do you wish to be? Do you want to raise your children in the land that raised you, or in a place across the sea? Only you can know where your heart and your values truly lie. Your father and I will support you no matter what you decide. But please, choose soon, my love, so that whichever man is not chosen may also find his peace. You cannot keep both hearts waiting forever.
Mama always said Brom is the one, but why do I feel the Ichabod is more fun? She sees a steady roof and feels the corn, but I crave the unknown and a love that's torn. My heart feels pulled in 2 different sides, reflecting a future in 2 different eyes. One speaks of dreams and the poems he brings, the other works hard and harvests he swings. Ichabod tells me of worlds far away. With clever words, he brightens my day. He speaks of kingdoms, fortune, fate, and art. He fills my mind and steals my heart. Brom is strong and honest as a river stone, the man I trust, and my gratitude has grown. He cannot write down the feelings he keeps, but he works hard even as the sleepy town sleeps. He mended the fence when the horses ran free. He picks the best apples just for me. His hands are rough, but his actions are kind. A strong, faithful heart that's hard to find. The scholar is handsome with a mysterious spark. The farmer is steady and a true light in the dark. I dream of adventure, but feel grounded somehow. Oh, which man should I love? Who do I choose now?
The morning came like any other, yet for Ichabod, everything felt changed. The light fell through the window as it always did, but he no longer saw beauty in it, only the dull ache of what had been lost. The silence of the room pressed upon him, heavy with the echo of last night's uncertainty. He felt the ache of rejection, not spoken but understood. He knew at last that Katrina's heart had never been entirely free to be his. It was clear in the way she had met his confession, not with joy or abandon, but with hesitation. He had dreamed that she might run into his arms, crying that they were meant to be forever. Instead, there had been silence, and that silence had broken him. What is broken cannot be repaired, he thought. Yet within the pain, there was a strange clarity, even a trace of relief. The truth had freed him from the invisible chain that bound him to this hollow place. As he rode back through the night, half mad with sorrow and sleeplessness, he had thought he met the Hessian horseman last night, its blood-dark steed galloping beside him through the mist. But it no longer terrified him. The spectre was almost familiar now, a reflection of his own despair. What had once been legend had become routine, just another Tuesday in the haunted hollow. The ghosts, the whispers, the creaking timbers, none of it held power over him anymore. He felt no fear, only emptiness. Her unspoken answer was still an answer, and that answer was no. I cannot be with you. The woman meant for him would never hesitate. She would not need time, nor persuasion, nor fear of consequence. She would simply know. He deserved more than uncertainty. Then, as he sat by the dim light of morning, a knock startled him. The post had come. Among the small pile of letters was one marked in the familiar hand of his sister, Margaret. At last, a voice from home. He tore the seal open eagerly, the scent of wax and sea salt air seeming to drift from its pages. As he unfolded the parchment, something peculiar slipped from between the sheets and fell softly onto his lap. A portrait. He stared down at it for a long moment, his breath catching as the morning sun touched the drawn face before him.
Dearest brother, your letter has finally found its way to us. It was a comfort beyond measure to receive your letter and to hear of your endeavors across the sea. I admire your determination, but I cannot help but worry that in chasing the horizon, you may forget the roots that steadied you. Mother's strength wanes, and she speaks often of the day she might see you once more. There is one matter upon which I must write, seeing how serious your sentiments have become. Our old friend Clara has been asking after you most persistently. She has grown into a lovely young woman and has refused several respectable suitors, claiming she waits for someone worthy of her affection. We all know whom she means, though I suspect you never took her girlish admiration to heart. Yet I assure you, brother, her affection is no child's fancy. She has become an accomplished young lady, gentle, industrious, and constant. She helps Mother daily, reading aloud by the fire when the evenings grow long, and tending to her with a care that speaks volumes of her character. The devotion she bears you has not faded. Rather, it has ripened into something quiet and steadfast. When I told her of your growing attachment to Miss Katrina, she grew pale and silent. I have never seen her so changed. She moved about the house like a ghost for days after. She once confessed to me long ago that she imagined you as a fine barrister in London or Liverpool, and that one day she would find you there and make you laugh again. She believed that, given time, you might come to see her differently. Now she knows that dream may never come to pass, and yet she has vowed that until you are wed to another, she will not take the hand of any man. I know these American girls you write of, so wild, so spirited, must hold great fascination. But remember, dear Ichabod, that steadfast love has a beauty all its own. Clara's heart is quiet, but it is true. She would follow you to the ends of the earth if you but asked. Before my wedding, Sir Andrew engaged a local artist to sketch my likeness, and upon completion, I prevailed upon him to draw also our dear Clara. I enclose her portrait within this letter, so that you might see for yourself the woman she has become. I write not to burden your heart, but to remind you that happiness sometimes lies where we least expect it. I have known Clara since she was 5 years old. By 12, after you rescued her from those dreadful bullies, she declared she would have eyes for no one but you. You left 2 years later for Oxford. and though we laughed at her girlish certainty then, she has not wavered in 8 years. Whatever you decide, know that I wish for your everlasting happiness, and that I speak only out of love for you and for the girl who has never ceased to love you. I only wish to give her a fair chance to be considered by your heart. With all my affection, your devoted sister, Margaret.
My dearest sister, I can hardly believe my eyes. When I left home for Oxford 6 years ago, at the age of 20, Clara was but a child of 14, cheerful, quick-witted, and forever saving me the choicest biscuits and tea. I remember her freckles and her laughter as vividly as the sea air that drifted through our windows in Liverpool. And now I gaze upon the likeness you sent, a young woman of rare beauty and grace. Her eyes seem alive with warmth and intelligence, and I find myself wholly struck. I once thought her affection a girlish fancy, something light and fleeting, but now, as I look upon her portrait each night, I no longer see the child I left behind, but a woman whose heart and strength I did not deserve to overlook. I have resolved to return home at once. I wish to assist father in his new trade, and, if Sir Andrew will have me, to serve as headmaster at his new school. Most of all, I long to see Clara again, and if she will still have me, to ask for her hand. I will not waste another day apart from her. At last, I understand that love need not be sought in distant lands or lofty dreams. It may dwell quietly in the hidden valleys of one's own past, waiting to be rediscovered anew. My time here has tested and tempered me. It has trained my heart to understand what love truly is, and what it is not. I enclose a poem describing my experience, that Clara might know me fully. I will not hide the truth. I did indeed fall in love with Katrina, but that love was built upon clouds and dreams, not upon the solid ground of shared values. Now I understand that lasting love must rest upon something deeper, mutual purpose, understanding, and devotion. Please tell Clara that I beg her patience just a little longer. Within a fortnight, I shall begin my voyage home. I look forward to embracing you all again, to rejoicing in your happiness, dear sister, and to looking upon Clara's face once more, not as a brother, but as a man who wishes to love her truly. Thank you, Margaret, for showing me the truth and giving me a chance at what may yet be my greatest happiness. With deepest gratitude and enduring love, your devoted brother, Ichabod Crane. My father crossed the ocean wide, with compass, will, and dream for guide. He told me, son, the world is vast. Seek your fortune and make it last. I came here chasing what my father found, a new life built on foreign ground. So here I stand, in American fresh air, give risk, a chance, I declared. My journey started with a brave open door. I am proud of my decision of wanting more. A scholar born of Oxford's halls, where reason ruled those ancient walls. Girls of Oxford were cool and still, but American girls have passions to fulfill. Katrina's energy, so raw and free, completely captured the scholar in me. I felt my heart skip faster when she is near. I wished I could make my doubts disappear. Yet here the nightly winds sing and scream, dark shadows disturbed with my future dream. Her laugh and gaze were fierce and free. No English rose could rival she. Alice also has a gentle face, but she is no comparison to Katrina's grace. As a schoolmaster, I played my part, but she struck a fever through my heart when her softest hands touched mine. I dreamt of our lives to be intertwined. Her passion, wildness, was raw and bright. Thoughts of her keeps me sleepless at night. I saw a future of a home where we could dwell until stories of ghosts began to tell of cursed, headless Hessian's might, which created fear and chills in the night. But when I shared my deep, honest fear, of curses whispered ear to ear, when I asked Katrina to start fresh and new, she saw my doubt as though I were not true. I would not have asked her to come with me if I did not see a future together for us to be. Katrina turned away in deep disappointment, ignoring my sincere and true proponent. Katrina thought, I want to escape like a coward, not as a man feeling overpowered. I meant to give her a world she has never known. I hoped for more kindness than she has shown. She could not see my heart's true intent. A protected home with safety is what I meant. For Liverpool's clean history I'd trade, away from a headless creepy shade, not out of fear, but out of care. To provide a carefree life for children unspoiled there, and yet her words cut deep within. A wound, no logic, no magic could mend. I thought her love would understand, that hearts can build on foreign land, but now I see we were worlds apart, and what we felt was only meant to play a part of our true destiny we were meant to see, to prepare us for what was truly meant to be. Then fresh air came from my sweet homeland, a lovely painting created by an artist's hand, of Clara, a beautiful familiar face, suddenly grown with amazing grace, once ribbons, blush and childhood fun. Now 6 long years what time has spun. I used to be a brotherly guard, wiped away every tear. I never imagined seeing her as someone close and dear. We played in the snow, cold and bright. Now these memories fill me with light. I thought of her fondness as childish play, a fleeting preference that would fade away. But now as I gaze upon her image, I feel a stir of intense longing to be there with her. This awakened ache I feel is pure and deep, the kind of love souls are meant to keep. Memories of winters with her felt soft and kind, and thawed the frost within my mind. The laughter and the snow we shared, I finally realised no one else compared. Love that's born from innocence and kindness, the true affection finally cured my blindness. What once was so simple, pure and mild, now glows with meaning, reconciled. Perhaps this pain was heaven's art, to teach me how to read my heart. For every journey starts anew, to lead us back to what is true. There's golden fields we walked before, and love that waits for us once more. Her character, beauty is true and kind, the golden treasure I was meant to find. As my journey here comes to an end, it was meant to test me and recommend the values and memories that I left behind, the treasure hidden in familiar mind. Jane Austen truly said it all. Misunderstanding obscures true love's pool. I will leave behind this haunted gleam, back to enduring love of the sweet English dream.
My dearest Ichabod, your letter was placed in my hands only yesterday, and I read it a dozen times by candlelight, scarcely believing my eyes. Yes, my darling, I have always been waiting for you. I loved you when I was 12, and you laughed at my shy ways. And I love you now, as a woman grown, who knows her heart. I still have the little wooden doll you carved for me when I was 10, and you were 16. I keep it safely upon my writing desk, where it has watched me grow. How kind you were then, how patient. When the older boys teased me, you stood beside me with such quiet courage. You were always such a gentleman. I admired you then, and I still do now. I sometimes wish I were as brave as you, venturing out into the wide world in pursuit of purpose. Yet my heart belongs here, in Liverpool, among those I love and the streets that carry all my memories. My heart aches for you, Ichabod, because I have always known that no one will ever see you the way I see you. You are the one who completely stole my heart, before I even knew what my heart was. To me, you will always be the kind boy who deserved every treat I ever saved, and the man whose mind and spirit I revere. Dearest Ichabod, your absence has only made my heart grow more ardently in love with the man I hear you have become. I admire your dedication to your mission of spreading knowledge, and I hope, with all my soul, that I might stand by your side, to support you and care for you for all the days to come. There is no one else in my eyes besides you, Ichabod. Please come home to me soon. I will gladly and wholly give you my heart. Ever yours, Clara.
Katrina awoke with a strange calm, a soft release that followed the storm of the night before. There lingered in her chest a faint ache, not only of sorrow but of clarity. She felt a twinge of regret for the fleeting happiness she had shared with Ichabod, yet the pain of that night had made one thing unmistakably clear. She did not belong with him. The kiss that was meant to mean everything had instead revealed the truth. It did not ignite her heart. It hollowed it. The ache she felt as their lips met was not passion but grief, her very soul crying out in protest that she was kissing the wrong man. Ichabod was fine, intelligent, and undeniably charming, but he was not her man. Somewhere deep within, she understood that the connection between them was not destiny but distraction. In the stillness of the morning, her mother's story echoed in her mind, the tale of the quiet man who had always been there, steadfast and unseen. And suddenly Katrina knew that man was Brom. A wave of guilt washed over her for all the moments she had dismissed him, for every smile she had overlooked. The kiss with Ichabod had not been a celebration of love, it had been the betrayal of one. In that single moment, she had felt the door closing on Brom, a door she realized she never truly wished to shut. In the depths of her heart, she knew now what had always been true. Brom had been hers all along. She rose swiftly, her heart racing with resolve. The morning sun glowed through her window as she dressed in haste, her hands trembling, not with uncertainty, but with purpose. Without breakfast, without hesitation, she stepped into the fields, the same fields they had run through as children, determined to find the man she had finally learned to see. It was another workday like any other. The field stretched wide beneath the pale morning sun, and Brom arrived on horseback as he always did, the scent of earth and hay filling the air. The world seemed unchanged, the same hills, the same quiet rustle of wind, yet fate had chosen this ordinary morning for something extraordinary. From the corner of his eye he saw her. There, standing at the edge of the field, was Katrina Van Tassel, the very woman he had loved since boyhood, since before he even understood what love was. She stood still, her hands clasped before her, the wind playing through her hair. But this time, when her eyes met his, something was different. There was no confusion in her gaze, no teasing smile, no distance. Her eyes were filled with a bewildering clarity, as though she had just awoken from a long dream. In that instant, Brom felt something shift inside him. She finally saw him. For so long he had steeled himself for heartbreak. He had been waiting, dreading, the day she would announce her engagement to Ichabod Crane, and he could at last surrender the fight and let the stake pierce his heart. He had imagined it countless times. But today, the girl before him was not one bound for another man. She looked at him like a woman in love. Tears shone in her eyes, glimmering like dew in the morning light. Her smile trembled, radiant and uncertain all at once. In her heart, something had changed in the quiet hours of the night, a transformation born of pain and revelation. Last night, Katrina had grown. She had felt loss, not for Ichabod but for Brom. The fear that she might lose him had seized her with such clarity that all else faded. She could not understand how her heart had been led astray for so long, but that single kiss had shattered the illusion. When she had kissed Ichabod, she had felt not passion, but grief. Grief for the man who was not in her arms. And now, standing before Brom, she finally understood. Her heart had always belonged here. A soft laugh broke from her lips through her tears, and she shouted across the field, her voice clear and bright as the morning sky.
Brom, I want to go to the pumpkin patch with you.
You truly mean that?
I do. And I want to go to every pumpkin patch with you, every year, forever.
As Mrs. Van Brunt?
Yes, 1,000 yes.
Then, forever it shall
be. He turned fully toward her, his breath catching as though the world itself had stopped spinning. For a heartbeat, neither moved. Then, as she began to run toward him, everything that had once stood between them, the silence, the doubt, the years of waiting, fell away like mist beneath the sun. When she reached him, she threw her arms around his neck, breathless and laughing through her tears. He held her close, too overwhelmed to speak, the truth of those words sinking deep into his heart. All the waiting, all the heartache, all the quiet faith he had carried through the years, it had all led to this moment. At last, patience had won. Meanwhile, far across the sea, Ichabod Crane stepped off the ship onto the bustling loading dock of Liverpool. The salty wind carried the scent of home, familiar, grounding, and sweet after so many months of loneliness. There, waiting at the end of the pier, stood his father, mother, and all three sisters, along with Sir Andrew, waving and smiling with joy. They had brought treats, flowers, and small gifts to welcome the son who had wandered far and finally returned. And among them stood one more figure, Clara. Their eyes met, a gaze filled with both relief and longing, something at once familiar and new. In that single moment, Ichabod understood. This was what true love felt like. Not uncertain or divided, not a dream on the edge of two worlds, but home. He walked straight to her, his heart steady for the first time in years. Without hesitation, he drew her into his arms. She looked up at him, eyes glistening, and he kissed her, a kiss full of quiet joy and promise. Clara's hands rose to his shoulders, and she embraced him without a word, surrendering to the moment with complete abandon. Around them, the harbour sounds faded, the gulls, the waves, the chatter of sailors, until there was only the two of them, together at last. And this time, the kiss did not feel painful or hollow. This time, the kiss felt complete. On the morning of their wedding, the whole town of Sleepy Hollow gathered to celebrate the union of Brom Van Brunt and Katrina Van Tassel. The church bells rang across the valley, and ribbons of gold and autumn orange fluttered in the breeze. Even Jacob found reason to smile that day, for at last he had caught the attention of Alice, whose laughter rang brightly among the guests. Mr. and Mrs. Van Tassel looked on with tears of joy, their hearts full of pride and relief at the sight of their radiant daughter and the steadfast man she had chosen. At the altar, Brom turned to Katrina. With trembling hands, he lifted her veil. The sunlight fell across her face, and for a moment, time itself seemed to pause. When their eyes met, the world around them faded into a gentle blur of colour and sound. Then he kissed her, and as their lips met, the earth seemed to melt away. The voices, the bells, the crowd, all vanished into stillness. Katrina felt no pain, no sorrow for anything lost. There was only peace, fulfillment, and the quiet joy of knowing she would spend the rest of her life beside the man her heart had always known was hers. When Ichabod left Sleepy Hollow, he had called upon Katrina once more to say goodbye. Their eyes met for the last time, not with regret, but with gratitude. Gratitude for the brief moment they had shared, for the release they had given one another, and for the clarity that followed. Both understood that what they had was not love, meant to last, but love meant to lead them home. And so they parted in kindness, each free to follow the heart that truly belonged to them. On her wedding day, Katrina saw no one but Brom. She finally saw him, and knew she always would. He was the true light in her life, the steady warmth she could trust through every season to come. She no longer needed books to understand love, nor poetry to describe it. She had found it, not in dreams or distant imaginings, but in the strong and patient heart of the man who had loved her all along. And the hand she held that day, strong, calloused, and sure, she would never let go again. Ichabod had left her one final poem before his departure. A farewell written in his careful hand, folded neatly and tied with a faded blue ribbon. Katrina kept it in the top drawer of her vanity, where the sunlight sometimes touched it in the mornings. She did not keep it out of longing, nor regret, but as a quiet remembrance, a token of something that had once felt real and raw. A reminder that even fleeting love can shape the heart it touches. Sometimes, when the autumn winds returned and the pumpkins ripened in the fields, she would open the drawer and read the verses once more. The words no longer stirred confusion or ache, only warmth, for they reminded her of the moment she changed. It was that poem and the man who wrote it that marked the turning of her heart, from the dreams of a girl to the understanding of a woman. She smiled when she thought of him, wishing him peace across the sea. Then she would close the drawer, turn back toward the life she had chosen, and find Brom waiting by the door, his hands rough, his eyes kind, and she would know, with quiet certainty, that her heart had led her home. Moments later, laughter echoed through the house as two small voices called for her. Katrina gathered her children into her arms, their little hands clutching at her skirts. Together they stepped out into the bright autumn morning, toward the fields, the pumpkins, and the life she had always been meant to live.
The hardest thing in the world is to fall in love somehow, then find out our values are misaligned just now. Our mismatched futures won't let our love grow. Our eyes once sparkled, and our chemistry did glow. But when visions part, the dream must end. For our lives were never meant to truly blend. Yet pain of knowing that we cannot be has in some ways set our hearts free. As deeper truths at last unfold, we see now we were not meant to grow old. Though our story ends right here, I will always hold our memories dear. You awakened passions I long thought still. You taught my heart to trust its will. You broke down walls I built with care, and let the breath of life in there. You taught me laughter, wild and true, and showed me skies I never knew. You taught me to not hide the child within, but embrace my soul and let joy begin. And I hope, in turn, I opened your mind to dream of adventures of every kind. When I look at the stars, I'll remember you, the tenderness of all we once knew. I'm grateful our paths were meant to cross, to teach us love's depth, its gain and loss. If I, in turn, have lit your mind with words and visions intertwined, our paths diverge, yet I implore, dream bravely still, forevermore. In our pain, we both have grown, for without you, I'd never have known how deeply connection can possess the heart, the tremendous power of nature's art. Across the sea, I'll smile at you, through autumn fields and morning dew, through stolen glances and moonlight's gleam. You will always be my American dream. And when the stars again appear, I hope you'll think of me, my dear. Recall our talks, our fleeting flame, not with regret, nor whispered blame. Even for a moment, our hearts aligned, my soul is forever by yours defined. Though our futures did not collide, I hope you never cease to dream with pride. And if you read by candlelight, a book that once brought us delight, think kindly of the man who stirred your soul in whispered dreams that made us whole. What pain has carved, all hearts will learn, the shape of love for which passions burn. Through loss, we grow. Through tears, we see that truth from love will set us free. Please don't dim the flame I adored. In another man's heart, it will be restored. Let your passion be your compass bright, and love your ever-shining light.
Mama always said, promise the one. But why do I think Ichabod is more fun? She sees a steady roof and fields of corn. I crave the unknown and a love that's torn. My heart feels pulled in two different sides, reflecting a future in two different eyes. One speaks of dreams in the poems he brings, the other works hard in the harvest he swings. Ichabod tells me of worlds far away. With clever words he brightens my day. He speaks of kingdoms, fortune, fate, and art. He fills my mind and steals my heart. Rome is as true as the river stone. The trust and my gratitude has grown. He cannot write down the feelings he keeps, but he works hard even as the sleepy town sleeps. He mended the fence when the horses ran free. He picks the best apples just for me. His hands are rough, but his actions are kind. A faithful, strong heart that is hard to find. Ichabod tells me of worlds far away. With clever words he brightens my day. He speaks of kingdoms, fortune, fate, and art. He fills my mind and steals my heart. The scholar is handsome with a mysterious spark. The farmer is steady, a true light in the dark. I dream of adventure but feel grounded somehow. Oh, which man should I love? Who do I choose now? Ichabod tells me of worlds far away. With clever words he brightens my day. He speaks of kingdoms, fortune, fate, and art. He fills my mind and steals my heart. Rome is as true as the river stone. The man I trust and my gratitude has grown. He cannot write down the feelings he keeps, but he works hard even as the sleepy town sleeps. My heart feels pulled in two different sides, reflecting a future in two different eyes. One speaks of dreams in the poems he brings. The other works hard in the harvest he swings. The scholar is handsome with a mysterious spark. The farmer is steady, a true light in the dark. I dream of adventure but feel grounded somehow. Oh, which man should I love? Who do I choose now? Who do I choose now?